All right, this is fantastic. You came back and we are ready to add some cabinet doors now. Now this can get a little tricky because we have a few complexities that we have to worry about in order to get this to work. First of all, I want you to think the shape for our doors is actually written on this picture that's on the back wall. Now that's behind the cabinet here. And even if I change this to wire face here, um, and I do this wireframe override, when I go to extrude these, um, it's going to be in the way because what's happening is this cabinet is in front and it's obstructing our view. So the first thing that I want to do for now is I want to go up and I want to toggle my Scene Explorer, and this cabinet is actually going to be this number 3. If I click on it, it highlights which one it is in the list. I want to shut that off, the view of it, so that it basically disappears. Now, if some of these other ones are in my way as well, I can hide those. Otherwise, I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Now, what I want to do now that I have access to this, I'm going to start in this drawer face. And I have my front view here, and I have my side view. I can get rid of my Scene Explorer for the time being. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so I can see what's going on. Now, I want to, before in the last exercise when we were doing those boxes, we wanted to have this snap toggle turned on in order to grab this face. Okay, that makes sense. Now, at first, I'm going to do that here. And watch what happens if I go there to here. Now, one thing I have to check on is I am not in a drawing mode. I'm in editable poly. So I need to go back, and I'm going to go back into box mode here. Now it is clicking on my shape. So I can grab this corner, drag it up, and go over to this corner. And then I can go right and left. And what you're seeing is it's way out in left field here. This is top view, and as I move around in this space, it's nowhere by where I want it to go. Okay, so how do we fix that? Okay, let me go in here and draw from here to here. Maybe yours is working, but what I want to do is I want to toggle that off. Okay, I'm going to click on, I'm going to draw my standard box primitive. And what happens when we go here? You can see I'm supposedly drawing on this spot, but it's showing up way down on the line here. Okay, that is nothing like we want. So we need to go back into my 3D space. Okay, I'm going to click up. I'm going to go grab there. And you can see I have the box drawn, but my length is actually 0. So I drew it over, but it didn't extend it or extrude it out from my surface at all. So I'm going to go into my length here and I'm going to manually type in 1.6 centimeters. And what that did is you can see on here that centered on my backspace where I drew that. It's not a big deal. What I want to do now is I want to grab this and I want to move it to the front. Okay, I want to drag it out into this space. Now, the issue with moving that is I'm in snap toggle mode. I want to toggle those off, and that's going to allow me to move this a lot easier. So I just moved my whole wall. I don't want to do that. I want to grab this, and I want to move this to the front of my cabinet. Now, how far do I know how to move it? I'm going to have it come somewhere out in here in this area. Okay. And now I can toggle my cabinet back on, and we can line that up with the front of our cabinets. Okay. So there's a few things that we need to do in order to really make this work. I had to fight with it for a while because what was happening is if you have this snap toggle on while you're trying to move this around, especially with this box on, it does not want to work right. Now that's in place, and you can see I'm going to actually make my front view large now. I'm going to keep these here so we can still see what's going on. But what I want to do now is I want to clone this shape. So let me turn this from wireframe onto default shading so we can see. I'm going to take this box and I'm just going to recolor this just so it kind of stands out here. All right, so here is my drawer front. I want to, as long as I am not with snap toggle on, okay, I can drag this down and make a clone of it. Now I can't do that here with having wireframe turned off because I need to see how far over to bring it. But so I'm going to hold shift. Shift is being depressed. I'm going to go here, and that's going to clone an instance of that. I'm going to line it up with the next drawer. Now I want to make an instance. I don't want to make a copy. Okay. I want that separate so it's not tied to my original. I'm going to do the same thing one more time here. I'm going to hold shift down and I'm going to line it up with the top of my bottom drawer or cabinet door. Okay, there's my instance there. And now what I need to do is I'm going to clone that this way, but I want to make it the right size before I go and worry about cloning it. So I'm going to leave this view where I can see it, but I'm going to be working in my perspective view down here. So this is where I need to have multi-view open. And in my perspective view, I'm going to turn this into shaded. And we're going to convert this to an editable polygon so that I can grab just one face of my polygon here. So let me rotate to the bottom of my drawer because this is what we want to extend. I'm going to click on this. Maybe red was a bad color. And I'm going to grab my Z now. Okay, because I just have that face. Now, what I want to do is I want to use this line and this drawing here to line this up and get that centered to the bottom of that line. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's lined up there. Now this drawer front is fine. I have 3 drawers. One is longer than the other. Now I can clone this one and bring it this direction. I'm going to line it up so I can see all 3 of these. And actually, if you notice here, this moved on me. Let me go back to my whole shape and slide this bad boy up a little bit. Nope, I am here. Slide the whole thing up a little bit. Tweak it a little, and there. And then while this is selected here, I'm going to grab my move tool again. I'm going to hold shift down and I'm going to slide this over till it lines up on the top with the next box over. Okay, I want to clone to element. Let me make sure. Now if I clone to object 1, it's going to make that attached to that, and I don't want that. So that's why I'm going to pick element. I'm going to go one more over, and now I have 3. Okay, clone to element, okay. And then let's see what we have up here. We have these 2. So I'm going to grab 1 and 2, hold shift down, clone these and bring those up. And there are our drawer fronts. Okay, does that make sense? In our next video, we're going to do the drawer handles. Those are going to be cloned as a spline, and then we're going to extrude those. So you can do the same thing on the top here if you like. We're going to do that real quick, and just going to do it, not really talk, and have fun doing that. So same process. Create box. Shut this off. Box 19. Okay. Create box. Convert to editable poly. Grab this face. Bring this up to the right height. And there we go. That looks splendid. So hopefully yours turned out similarly to mine. Remember, you can set the colors to however you want. So as you're modeling, they can all look similar. And in our next video, we will worry about modeling our handles on here using our spline tool. So thank you, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.